my ugly little sister still alive at all? Having to live life with a face like that, I cannot believe you made it this far in life without offing yourself yet.
Tracy, it's been a long while, hasn't it? What do you have for me this time that took so long for you to prepare?
So that's the attitude you're going to have with me. I thought you would have been a whole lot more happy to hear from your amazingly gorgeous older sister again. How about you start giving your older sister a little more respect, as that's what she deserves for looking this good.
I have no idea what you're going on about right now. Tell me what you want.
Well, whatever. I know that you ugly people have no common sense anyway, so I'll just get on with it. So have you heard what's going on with me?
What are you talking about? So far, you haven't told me anything about yourself besides the fact that you're still a dick. I don't have time to listen to you blabber on all day, so hurry this up.
You haven't heard a single thing about me getting married?
What? You're getting married? Well, congrats, I guess. I'm sure that Mom and them are all happy for you, right?
They sure are. All of them are so excited that they get to see me getting married. I knew they'd all be so happy to see their cute, older daughter getting married. They have to be, since they all know an ugly duckling like you will never have a chance.
What? Well, say whatever makes you happy. I don't care anymore.
As for my wedding, make sure to bring me a great present. Money, perhaps, even. That's about all you can do for me, considering there's nothing else from you that I'd want. Since ugly people like you can't ever get married, that must mean you have lots of money saved up, right? So you better give me a lot of that. To Mom and everyone else in the family, I'm the most important thing. So pay up.
I knew things would never change with you. Well, we'll see just how much of my money I'm willing to throw away for you. And you are getting married after all, so the least I could do is give you something to celebrate. Everyone wants to see the little sister celebrating her older sister's wedding, right?
Right? And it's not like you've done anything else for the family. You might be working a lot and making loads of money, but that will never impress anyone because you look like a burnt diaper.
And because none of them care about me, I've been able to focus only on my work. Are you still working at all, Tracy? I heard that you found yourself a job finally half a year ago, so how's all of that been?
I went and quit that job.
So you've quit again?
I'm a good-looking woman, right? A great woman, actually. And that means in the workplace, all the other women working get so jealous of me, and it makes my life very hard. So I really had no other choice but to quit that job, you know? Really, life as a gorgeous woman is way too difficult sometimes.
Tracy, you're already 32 years old now. Is it really all right for someone as old as you to be saying things like that about yourself?
What's that? Do you have something you want to complain about now? I'm going to be getting married now, so I don't need to work anymore. And since I've been gifted with such looks, I've never really had to work that hard all my life, unlike someone I know.
Don't make it sound like my life has been nothing but my job. If the man you're going to be marrying really says that it's okay for you to become a housewife after marriage, well, then I guess you've lucked out. And I don't have any complaints or anything to say about that.
He has also said that he really thinks my absent-mindedness is so cute. Us good-looking women are all a little bit silly at times, you know. We don't even think about the kind of money we spend and what kinds of men we attract. Yet, lots of men seem to really find that attractive about us. Crazy, right?
Well, that's good to hear. You found yourself a man who likes stupid women. Enjoy your marriage to him. I'll be looking forward to that wedding of yours once I get the invite to it. See you then, I suppose. So, Tracy's finally going to get married. How wonderful for her. Does that make you feel a little bit worried about her now?
Oh, so you heard about that from someone? Well, it's the truth, and I'm happy for it.
I heard about this from Tracy herself, and she seemed over the moon about it. The man she's getting married to must be so open-minded and kind-hearted since he's willing to spend the rest of his life with that hot mess. I look forward to meeting him at the wedding.
So it was Tracy that told you. It's very rare for her to ever contact you about anything, right, Kendra? I guess she really is just that happy about this.
That's what it looks like.
So far, most of the men that Tracy has been with have always been worn out by her personality and leave her before things can get serious. But it sounds like the man she's with this time doesn't mind her, which makes me happy to finally see her getting married.
Is that right? Well, I can expect that when it comes to her.
I'm sure that she's going to be a real pain in the butt for you in the coming months, but please, just let her have her fun.
I'm sure you guys are going to be having it a lot rougher than me, right? You and Dad?
But we are both fine with the man that she has now, and when she's married, she shouldn't ever be coming home to us, right? I think this is the perfect chance for all of us. Actually, we've been thinking about moving.
Is that so? I guess Dad is getting pretty close to retiring. When are you two planning on moving out of that house then? And where to?
Most likely after the wedding, and we will be moving pretty far away from here, although we haven't said anything about this to Tracy herself.
What? How far are you both actually planning on moving then? Mom! What happened to Tracy that caused this? What is going on here, Mom?
Are you talking about the letter you got in the mail?
Yes, this came out of nowhere and I'm speechless. I know it's Tracy, but...
I started to freak out over it myself, and had to check to make sure things were true or not. And, well, from what I could find, it was just a mistake on her part.
What? What do you mean, Mom?
Hey! What do you all think you're doing? Why is there not a single member of the family here right now? How could you all do this to me? I told everyone about my wedding being today, and yet not a single one of you has shown up yet. Not even you, my ugly little sister, is here. What has happened to everyone? Answer me, you ugly freak! Answer me!
You really know how to make an entrance, don't you? Are you actually having a wedding today?
Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I sent you all the invites to my wedding, right? Is an ugly idiot like you not even able to read the words I had wrote? I don't have time to sit around here watching you mess with me like this. I tried calling Mom and Dad, Grandma and Grandpa, and even Uncle Jim about this, but none of them have picked up. And both Mom and Dad left my text on read.
I'm sure. And that's because all of them, every single person in our small little family, is tired of dealing with you.
What the hell are you trying to say about me? You think you can try to fight me like this now, just because you were too ugly for Mom and Dad to love? Who do you even think you are? I have nothing to do with your depressing life, and yet you're trying to drag me into it. Why the hell has everyone decided to not show up today without even telling me? This is insane. I'm sure you had something to do with it, didn't you?
I haven't done anything. If anything, this is all because of you, and yet you still haven't been able to catch on.
Huh? What are you talking about, ugly? Because of this, I'm going to cut ties to it and abandon you. There's no point to me having any relationship with such an ugly woman as you anyway, you freak. There's never been a point to it, actually. You are just the scum and filth of this earth. Like a piece of old gum stuck to the bottom of a table. All nasty and avoided by everyone that sees you. And now you've gone and done it by not showing up to my wedding today. My freaking wedding! I gave you the luxury of coming here today by sending that invitation. Yet you've gone and ignored it, you jerk.
The only thing I ever got from you was a letter inviting me to a funeral.
What?
There was never any wedding invitation from you. The only thing that came to my door was a funeral invitation for you, and that got me a little worked up. I went and asked Mom right after that if you were still alive, and that's when she told me you were, so I was able to calm down. But I never thought you were actually this much of a brain-dead idiot. Wow.
Brain-dead idiot? Huh? What's this about a funeral? Whose funeral are you even talking about right now?
Your name, as well as the name of your husband, was written on there. That's why I was a little bit unnerved at the time.
What? So what you're saying is that those wedding invitations I had sent out to you all, then they were all invitations to a funeral?
That's right. So we all asked the funeral home about the invites. But when we called them, they told us they were a wedding venue and that there must have been some kind of a mistake in the address. I'm sure this is what happened, but did you copy and paste some kind of an invitation outline and just print that?
How do you know that?
Well, there couldn't have been another reason for this, right? Jesus Christ, Tracy. You've been sitting there trash-talking all your guests when it was you that screwed up. Did you not realize you made some kind of mistake when not a single person was showing up yet?
There's no way this actually happened. No way. Are you joking with me or something? I knew that the professionals cost a lot of money to have to do the invitations. So I thought it would be easier to do things myself. And that's why I just went and copied and pasted some things from the internet and went with that. At the time, I didn't know what all to write on the invites for you all. So I just went on and Google copied the first thing I saw and filled it in with my fiancé and my information. Why did this end up happening?
I'm sure if you had just read what was written on that layout you copied, you would have understood it was made for a funeral. Did you really not read anything and just printed and sent whatever you had made once you filled it out? That's amazing, actually. I'm shocked someone in their 30s could even do that. But, well, because of all that, none of us got any wedding invites from you. So we didn't have any idea what to do about your wedding. I'm sure the same thing is happening with your husband's guests now too, right? I think you need to go and apologize to him about this right now.
But everyone my fiancé invited is here right now.
What? How could that be?
He went and made all the invites for his family and friends by himself. And so all of his guests are coming into the wedding venue right now.
What? So then it was only you that screwed up?
That's right. This is all so messed up. Why would something like this happen to me?
You're asking why? This is exactly what you deserved, right? You went and copied and pasted some layout you got online and just slapped your name and fiancé's name on there, not even reading any of it before printing all the invites out and sending them. Of course there would be loads of mistakes, right? It's kind of scary that you sent out invites like those for your own funeral, thinking they were for your wedding. I don't even get how you've made it this far when you can't even understand the most basic processes, like writing something out and then proofreading it. What has your husband been saying about this? Has he even said anything yet?
This is all crazy right now. I wonder if he'll be able to figure anything out if I just don't tell him anything.
Wait, what? You have to be kidding. So far, not a single one of your guests has shown up to your wedding, right? You know he's going to find out what happened one way or another. What are you even going on about? You told me before that men love your absent-mindedness, right? They think you being silly is all cute and such. Well, then he should forgive you for a little screw-up like that, right? He'll probably laugh it all off with you.
I see. That's a good point, actually. I have no other choice, really, so I'll let him know. None of this was my fault, but I'll let him know that there was some kind of mistake with my invitations.
I think you should tell him the truth about it, Tracy. I hope that he'll be willing to forgive you.
Why isn't anyone coming to my wedding yet? My husband told me that we could postpone the start of the wedding by 30 minutes in order to wait for everyone to come. But there has not been a single one of you coming. Because of that, the wedding's going to be canceled. And I got this vague message from Mom and Dad saying they weren't coming today. I have no idea what's going on now. What the hell has happened to all of you guys?
Like I was saying, Mom and Dad are tired of you. It seems that the two of them did go ahead and send your husband's parents a message saying they were very sorry for not coming today. But you are 32 years old now, Tracy, and you need to take responsibility for your own actions for once.
Are you tired of me? What does that mean? And if you all had known that those funeral invitations I had sent to you were a mistake, why didn't you guys say anything to me about that sooner?
Mom was testing you here.
What?
All my life, you have always been against me, saying the worst things you could to me, and doing the worst things you could, pretty much leaving you looking like Satan in my mind. You have gotten away with being so selfish about everything all the time, and have even made that clear to the family. When we all heard that you'd finally be getting married, we all let out a sigh of relief. But just before we could finally see you leaving the nest and becoming a proper adult, you made such a stupid mistake. Yet you didn't even notice such a simple mistake and sent those invitations out to us anyway. Had you noticed something was wrong and told us about it, we would have been more than happy to help you tell everyone a mistake had happened. But you didn't notice a single thing was wrong. And that left Mom pretty much thinking there was no hope for you anymore.
What are you talking about? There's no hope for me. So you're telling me that everyone knew something was wrong with my invitations, but you all chose to never tell me? You could have told me that my wedding invitation was actually a funeral invitation.
That's something you should have noticed yourself. Do you realize that the past couple of days after that had happened, Mom had to deal with everyone calling her and asking how you passed away and why this happened? I'm sure you didn't notice anything and your life wasn't affected by your mess up. But for us, we had to deal with friends and family asking us all the time about your death. I think that this time you should have been aware of what you'd done and actually taken action in order to fix it, right? Well, I guess it's too late now, though, as that test is already over. As for your wedding, we all have no plans of going there today. I'm sure it sucks having your wedding get canceled on you, but let's just hope you and your husband don't part ways because of it.
Are you freaking kidding me, you idiot?
What was that? Kidding you about what?
About the hope of my husband not parting ways with me? There's no way he's going to want to stay with me now after this. The wedding is being canceled right now, and his whole family is pissed off with me. They're all talking about ending our marriage right now. This is hell! I can't believe that it's all because of my family that my wedding and marriage are going to be ruined!
Is that so? But weren't you telling me before that it's your absent-mindedness and silliness that makes all the men love you?
I had tried to explain all of this to my husband by saying none of it was my fault. But for some reason, he got the wrong idea and seemed in awe about what had happened. His parents both reacted the same way as him, and now I have no clue what is going on. I didn't do anything wrong here.
It's because you keep on saying things like that not a single soul is going to want to help you.
What does that mean?
Are you really not aware that you're the only one to blame for all of this? Why do you keep trying to make it appear as though this is all our fault and that you did nothing wrong? I don't get it, Tracy. I really do not get it. You were the one that failed to proofread the invitation you sent out, and so that makes this your fault. And only yours. Yet you've continued to complain to me about everything while blaming me and the rest of our family for it. I'm sure you said the same things to your husband, right? You said to him that this was all our faults and that you're not to blame. No wonder he's in awe right now and not willing to work with you anymore.
But it's all your guys' fault for never telling me anything when you all knew I made a mistake.
Why do you keep going back to that?
All of this is what you wanted to have happen to me, right? You set this all up.
I set all of what up?
Because our parents have always loved me more than you. You have been deeply jealous of me, right? Because I am the best looking girl around and have everyone's eyes on me. I know you've been jealous of me, and that jealousy has finally come out. Then when you went and got mom and dad and the rest of the family all caught up in your malicious plans and set me up so it looked like it's my fault. You are a total witch for that. How are you going to take responsibility for all that you've done to me?
About all of that, Tracy, I don't feel that Mom and Dad have ever loved you more than me. I'm sorry to say this, but that's not the case in my eyes. It never was.
Stop trying to act all tough about it now.
Actually, I had asked Mom if it would be all right for me to let you in on a little secret we've all kept from you. So her and I had a little chat about it before she gave me permission.
What?
The reason none of what I'm going to say to you has never been said before is because Mom wanted to keep it a secret. It's Mom and Dad's thing anyway, so it's not something I should really be worried about. But I will tell you soon what that secret is. Also, you've always been saying Mom and Dad and the family have all cared more about you than me, right? Well, the only reason for that is because your behavior has required more of their care. So naturally, you felt like they've cared more about you and spoiled you. I happen to love Mom and Dad and thank them both for raising me with the amount of attention they gave. Unlike you, who has felt spoiled by them, I feel like I've been supported and raised by them.
What the hell is this? You're making it sound like I've been some sort of burden on both of them.
Well, that's because you've been one, right? They think of you as a burden, and that's why they told you to never come back to their house, right?
They did just tell me that before they stopped replying, but a burden to them? No way they think that of me. I'm me, right? I'm a gorgeous and silly woman.
And so what? I don't think you having decent looks has anything to do with what's been going on here. They've also told me not to tell you where their address is. So right now, you have no place to go home to. All right?
Huh? I know where Mom and Dad's house is because I've lived there. Are you stupid? If this whole marriage thing between my husband and I doesn't last, then I will be coming home to them. Of course, I won't have anyone else to go, so they're my only option.
Well, that's the secret I planned to tell you. Mom and Dad have moved away, and I mean out of the state away.
What?
Dad's been wanting to retire for a bit now and has been wanting to go somewhere he can have his own little patch of farming land. So they've moved out into the countryside somewhere, therefore even if you want them to spoil you again, it's not possible. And that's why I said I'm not telling you their new address.
What the hell? I never heard a single thing about all of that.
I told you it was kept a secret by us. So of course you weren't going to hear anything about it.
Well, what is going to happen to me then?
I don't care. You're almost 33 years old now, and you can think about what to do with your pathetic self on your own, right? And wait, I just wanted to ask this. Are you married to your husband yet or not? And I mean legally, not ceremonially.
We haven't been legally gotten married at the courthouse yet.
What? Are you serious?
He was telling me that he wanted to hold off doing that until we had the wedding just in case. But now that all this happened and sent him into shock, he no longer wants me to become his wife. Why is this happening to me? Really, because of you, my whole entire life is going to fall apart.
I see. So he really was just your fiancé and not husband. He must have known that there was something off about you, which there really is, and thought it would be safe to wait until the last second to see just how mentally deranged you really are. Well, I have to give him credit for doing that.
Come on now, Karina. You're the freaking ugliest person I know, and yet you keep talking about me like that. I know you've been jealous of me this whole time, all because an ugly witch like you can never get married, so you've had to come and ruin my wedding. I bet you hated the idea of me being happy with a husband the moment you heard me say I was getting married.
You've always continued to say that your ugly little sister would never get married, and kind of based all your insults towards me on that statement, right? But the thing is, I'm going to get married, and the man I'm marrying is a business owner. So really, there's not an ounce of me that's jealous of the sorry life you've led yourself to live. Never had been either.
Huh? You are going to be getting married. You?
Yes, me. We've been talking about me, so who else would I be talking about? Are you even reading any of this? I'm going to be getting married, Tracy. Sorry that even an ugly woman like me can get married before you. We plan to hand in the marriage papers in 2 days, and the wedding is being held next month. Of course, you won't be getting invited to that.
And you said the man you're marrying is a business owner? That's a total lie. It has to be.
I've already gone and showed him to Mom and Dad, and he's done the same with me for his parents. Everyone in our family loves him, and his family all love me. Honestly, I don't need you to believe me or anything, since you have zero influence on my life now. We're cutting ties soon as well, right?
If you really are going to be marrying a man like that, then you should show him to me as well.
Excuse me?
No matter how they are, they will see me as more beautiful than you. And that means he'll be a lot more happily married to someone like me than you. Introduce him to me right now. You already have a job of your own, so you don't need him. I want to get married. I want to become someone's housewife.
Jesus. So the day you just lost your fiancé, you're going to prey on your own little sister's fiancé? I was starting to feel a little bit bad for you after all that's happened. But now that you've said all that, go screw yourself, Tracy. I don't want to ever see or hear from you again, so leave me alone.
Hold on a second. What the hell am I supposed to do from now on then? I have nowhere else to go now.
Don't give a damn. Go live the rest of your crappy life in some back alley somewhere, you rat. You need to live on your own for once, you very sad excuse of an adult woman. Don't ever turn up around my family or I again. After that, did she say anything else to you guys?
She's been trying to say things to me all this time, but I'm not talking with her anymore. I've also made sure to tell your dad to leave things be and not say anything back to her. Of course, if something very serious were to happen, we'd hand her some kind of a lifesaver. But I think that right now, she needs to start thinking about how to support herself instead of always relying on us.
That's the same thing I'm thinking. I'm sure that if she can pull off the life of being an adult, then you guys won't be so worked up over her anymore, right?
I'm really sorry your dad and I didn't do something a whole lot sooner about her. Just know that you can look forward to seeing us at your wedding next month, where we'll have something big in store for you. Let Gabe know that as well.
Gabe's already looking forward to seeing you guys again and said he didn't need any kind of gifts from you. And remember, after our wedding, we'll still be able to see you and Dad every so often. Nevada may be far from here, but we'll make those trips when we have time to. Now that you and Dad both don't have that baggage anymore, you can enjoy the relaxing life of being old. Now, you both have a safe trip back here next month, please. And don't forget to take care of your health, too. Thank you. And that next month, I was officially married and had my wedding. I had all of my family and friends there with me and was able to have a wonderful wedding. And of course, I didn't invite Tracy to come and join us. Her and I don't talk to one another anymore, and never will again. But from all the rumors I've been hearing about her, she had to get a job working on a fishing boat and has been doing that ever since. It was said that things leading up to that job were very tough for her, and that right after her fiancé and his family left her, she had to pay for her whole wedding herself. She didn't have that money though, of course, so she did the one thing that any childish and good-looking girl like her could do: sold her body. That did end up working out for her for a few weeks, and she was actually able to get a lot of money doing so. However, something came up that changed everything for her. And that thing happened to be an STI, which has now ruined her chances of working that kind of job again. She still had a bit more debt to pay off, though, and so she took out a loan and used that to pay off the debt and the second month's rent at an apartment she found. But from there, things started to go downhill really fast, as she wasn't able to pay off that loan in any way, and the loan shark had her start to work for him in the fishing industry. I'm sure this isn't the life she wanted to end up in, but from my family's point of view, this is the perfect outcome. Of course we feel bad about the STI and all the other memories she's going to have to live with now, but life out at sea with a bunch of hard-working men should really teach her a lot about how to live on her own the right way. I have no plans of ever talking to her again, but my parents did say that if some point in the future she's back in from living on that boat and is taking care of herself, they would want to see her. Let's just hope that when a time like that comes, if a time like that comes, she's a completely changed person and acts like a proper adult, for my parents' sake. I've already gone and told them both that I won't be around to help if things ever go south with her and them, since my new husband and I will be moving to Canada soon. Of course, that's not far from the US at all, and we'll be making those trips to go and see my parents. But my husband has a business to run, and we can't have her getting in the way.